So hi guys, today I'll be telling you about EC2 instance AWS service, which is a AWS service, one of the most important AWS service. And how do you create a EC2 instance? Creation of a EC2 instance is simple, but I'll let you know how do you create a EC2 instance using Terraform and from command line. How do you access EC2 instance from a command line? So yeah, so right now on my AWS panel, as you could see, this is the dashboard of the AWS Web Services panel, and I'm on my US East 1 region. So here I have to just go to EC2. What is a EC2? It's just a virtual server on the cloud, and apart from that, there are a lot of things that you could do from a EC2. Just like how you could do so many things from your computer, it's just a mini computer on your cloud. So many people could access that, and it's very convenient to use EC2 instances. It comes in a lot of forms, so that just I'll let you know. After that, now that you could see we are on the EC2, you clicked on EC2, and there are this instances that you could see. So yeah, here you could see that this is the EC2 instance dashboard, and how do you create is how you see there's this launch instance kind of a thing. You click on that, and here you have to write your EC2 server name. So right now I'm writing it's like Pratyaksh Pratyaksh EC2 EC2 instance. Okay, so this I've done. So now you have to give the OS to your EC2 instance. Supposedly, I want my EC2 instance on Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. So right now I'm going for Linux. So Linux is this, and free tier eligible is like that. That EC2 instance comes in various forms, and also you'll have to pay for that as per your demand. So right now I'm choosing a EC2 instance which is like a free tier, so that you'll get to know I'm just making it just for that, just to letting you guys know. Okay, so instance types. So there are a lot of instance types. You could see like T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, and depending upon how you want. So the differences, you could see that there's one CPU and 1 GB RAM in this, one CPU, 2 GB RAM, and two CPU and 4 GB RAM are there. So that is what different types of EC2 instances are. You could choose depending upon your needs. So right now the free tier eligible is T2 micro. So we're gonna go ahead with that. And yeah, key pair. Now what is a key pair is like, just like I told you, it's like a virtual server. So why do you need a key pair? We need a key pair because if you want to use your EC2 instance somewhere else, like apart from like from a third party app or from command line, but then you have to, the command line should be knowing that this is your EC2 instance and you have the authority to use it. So that the key pair comes into play. So right now these are my old key pairs. So I'll let you know, create a new key pair, RSA type, that is like a public and easy to read for every, like all the third party application command lines is easily, can easily read the RSA type of key pair name. So I'll just write Pratyaksh, yeah, Pratyaksh key pair, and just now I'll create a key pair, and see, this is where I've downloaded the key pair. So this you have to like keep with you, because this is the key pair that you'll be needing if you like need your EC2 instance to access your EC2 instance from anywhere else. Now security group and everything. So we'll go ahead with the default security group and allow SSH traffic from anywhere. What does it mean is like the inbound rules for your EC2 instance, like anyone could have the, from from everywhere your EC2 instance could be accessible. That is what this mean is. Anywhere is like 0000. That is what, and everything else is there. You could see 1 Gbps and everything. Here you could see what you have right now decided for your EC2 instance, like Amazon Linux, that you'll choose the type of EC2 instance. Instance type is T2 micro and everything, and number of instances you need is 1. And here you have given the name for your EC2 instance, and now you just have to click on launch instance. So we'll just wait for the instance to get launched, and you have seen that successfully instance is launched. So we'll just click here, we'll go again there, and right now we just saw that we could see a Pratyaksh EC2 instance right now is running, and it's like a type ST2 micro. You click here, you'll see. So here's the instance ID, here's the public VV4 IPv4 address, here is private IPv4 address and everything. This type you could see here, and subnet and everything. And now if you want to know how do you access the EC2 instance, you click on connect. Then this is the SSH. Now how do you want to access your EC2 instances? You go and supposedly you need to access this EC2 instance, you just have to copy this command and you have to run it on your command line. Right now I'm just letting you know how do you EC2 instance connect. So what does it help is it creates a terminal panel over here only, and from there you could like connect your EC2 instance, and once you click on connect, you'll be able to see a terminal panel and you'll be able to connect to your EC2 instance. But this is how you can connect, or you could like make your EC2 instance. But for that you have to like uh, go to your console panel of your AWS console panel. You have to go to and everything. Supposedly you don't have access to your console panel, then how do you make a EC2 instance? For that I'll let you know how you make a EC2 instance from a Terraform file, from Terraform. Yeah, so for that, you just have to supposedly, where do you wanna create your EC2 panel? Supposedly I have this file. I'll just make a new file here, create a folder, uh, EC2 Terraform. Okay, so I've just created this panel, and now I wanna go to the command terminal and open this directory. So instead of that, I could just click here and just write cmd and just open it. So this is how you could like open your command panel, and from there you could write code and dot. This will help you make open a VS code, and this folder will be opened, and so that you could see. Now you'll make a new file. Supposedly you make two new files. One is instance.tf. Why tf is tf? Because it's a Terraform file. One more file, resource says .tf. Yeah, these two files are there. So what happens is you go to a Terraform, like you go to Terraform registry or anything, and you just write here what this mm, platform is gonna do is it'll let you know how you could make how you give command to Terraform or give command to command line to make any possible directory that you want. So I write here AWS EC2, and here I'll just search AWS EC2 instance. Yeah. So sources AWS EC2. Yeah. Uh, Oh, before that, I'll let you know uh, how you could like once you go on to Terraform registry and you go to providers, you go to documentation, and then you see how do you provide a. You firstly you have to like give a provider for you to your Terraform file. So how do you give that is like you could see here. The provider is like this. This is just examples of how you could give your providers and everything. So I'll just provide this provider, and this is the basic provider. Copy this and just on the resources, I'll just paste this. Paste this. Now AWS, my region which I told you in which I want my EC2 is US East 1. So I'll just change this to US East 1. Yeah. Now, what is a access key and what is a secret key? I'll let you know in some time. Until then, you could just leave this as blank. Yeah. Save this. And this is how you have given the provider, letting the terminal find that the provider is AWS, and you have to make a AWS file. And so now that we are on the same file, you could see EC2 Terraform, and we just write Terraform plan. now you see it doesn't work. The dependency is not there. So you have to write like Terraform init command or Terraform. Let's say first write a command Terraform provider. It will know that we have provided a provider which is like a AWS. You could see here. Now you have to install this provider. How do you install it? Firstly, let's clear the screen. Terraform providers. Now you could see the Terraform. And now to install this provider, you have to write Terraform in it. Now what it does is it is gonna be creating a Terraform, installing the Terraform provider, and you could see here that right now we just have these two files, but let's just wait for it to get installed and everything. And then you'll see then you'll see just you could see dot terraform file and everything. It is because the provider is like the Terraform or the command line installing all the providers that are being required to give access to your AWS panel. Until then, we could just go to the AWS and to get your will go to IAM to get your access key and secret key. And right now you could see there are users. There are only one user, that is me, that I have made it. So you just have to create one more user and you could just give the name Terraform. And now after this, you just have to attach policies to this user. That's administrator access. What does help is so that you administrator access, why we are giving this policy is because once you have the admin access, then you could just have the AWS access of AWS or creating any resource for as a admin. So yeah, that's all. We'll create a user. Just to use this, we open this Terraform and there's this access key you could see. We'll just create an access key. We want the access to use at command line. We'll go there. I understand. And yeah, description Terraform from second EC2 instance. You could write any name or any description here. I'm just writing it for my convenience. Yeah, so this is the access key, this is the secret access key. Make sure you don't share it with anyone. So I just copied my access key. I'll just go there. I'll just paste my access key here and the secret access key. I'll just copy it. I'll just paste it here and I'll just save this file. Yeah, this is what I've given it to the provider. And you could see the Terraform provider has been installed. You could clear this and yeah, right now all you have to do right now is just make a access key, create access key. Yeah, in your EC2 panel you have done this. Just click on done. Once you click on this, you will not be able to see your access key again. Yeah, so right now we have done this. Now what we have to do is we'll go there. We'll go on the Terraform documentary again. Now, how do you make a EC2 instance? You'll just write here, or you just I'll let you know on the folder itself. Yeah, here. Now, right here EC2 instance, so that I could let you know about the basic AWS instance. You could see. So this is how different AWS EC2 instances are there. This is how the different arguments can be passed in the command line to let you know about an EC2 instance ID tags. So yeah, you could like go here and see for yourself. But right now we want to make a EC2 instance for a very basic type. So we'll just go here and we'll see where we could see AWS EC2 instance. Yeah, we could just click on EC2 instance, EC2 instance state, see how this is everything. Then AWS instance, you could see here how these are just the examples of how you could make a EC2 instance and everything. As you could see, there are a lot of AWS and EC2 instances here. So yeah, right now, this is like exam common you could say just for your reference. I'm copying it from here, or if you don't want it, we could just write a resource, which is like a AW, which is like Yeah, AWS EC2 instances, that is what we use. That is how it is defined. We copy it from here, and this double A, you just clear it. And the second thing, what here you have to write is how you want your EC2 instances to save in your local machine. We'll just write it well. Apart from that, see there's this AMI. What is a AMI is? I just told you in the earlier that EC2 instances are like made in Linux, everything like Linux or any other Ubuntu, Windows, iOS. So AMI you have to see from there. So because since nobody can remember these long AMI, we'll just see browse more AMIs. So you could see that the Linux AMI and different AMIs are just written over here. So we want to make a EC2 instances of Linux. We'll just copy this AMI. We'll just go back. And we've copied it and we'll just paste it here. So this is how AMI is being made. Then what are the necessary details, instance types? Because of course you want to know what instances you are making. So we'll just make T2 micro, T2 underscore micro, or T2 dot micro. Let's just confirm. Yeah, T2 dot micro. So T2 dot micro is what we want our instance to be. Apart from that, if you want to know what other things you could do, see, I've already made a EC2 instances earlier. I'll just let you know. Back. So this is where I was working on my EC2 instances, and yeah, I just once and see. This is how I made a EC2 instance as XT2 micro. Now key name I don't want. I just want a tag. Just copy it from here. Tags. So what tag is? See, how you want your EC2 instance to be named as. I could just write first YouTube EC2 instance. So yeah, this is how I want my EC2 instance to be named as. Now we'll just save this, and yeah, this is what are the basic necessary details that you want in a EC2 instance. I will just go on the file. This is like my directory where the folder is. I will just write Terraform plan. What does it do is I'll just run through the folder and just see what are the Terraform files. Just let you know what are the files that you could run. Now once you click on this, now you'll see that AWS EC2 instance will be created, because will be created by his said this he Terraform plan command just go through the folder and check everything that you want, and whatever you have mentioned there, it'll just do that. So you could see EMI we have seen and everything else known after apply. Why it is like first you have to like create a EC2 instance, then only let you know which ID it is and everything. T2 micro we have mentioned that instance type has to be T2 micro, and yeah, here is the name first YouTube EC2 instance. Now if you want to apply this command, you could just write terraform apply. You just press enter, and yeah, now I'll be just asking you if you want to approve. Yes, and yeah, now you could see the AWS instance web is creating a EC2 instance, and yeah, that is how you make a EC2 instance. You just wait for the time for it to create a EC2 instance on your ID. How it is making in your ID is because you have given the SSH access key and SSH secret key. Just because the Terraform file or the command line have access to both of them, he must just know that he has to make a EC2 instance at your ID. Apply complete. Now you could just write a CLS command to clear everything, and you'll see there, and we'll just refresh my first EC2 instance. My first YouTube EC2 instance is there. As you could see, we just made a first EC2 instance, that is the type T2 micro, and yeah, that is private IP, public IPv4 DNS, public IPv4 address, and everything that you have to know. So yeah, in this video we have learned is how EC2 instances are made, Then how, if you don't have access to command AWS console, how you could make EC2 instance from a command line and or from a Terraform file. Yeah. So everything that you want is here, and yeah, you could see firstly we have installed. Let's recap everything. Firstly, we made a EC2 instance. For that, we install the Terraform, or we install the provider that is required to know the command line that which in which provider, example AWS is there. So in AWS a provider, we installed it because we want to know the command line that this is the provider that we want to use as of now, and we want to create a resource in it. So yeah, we created a provider. We given him the region access. We given him our personal access key, secret key, and you could write this in the same file itself, but I just wrote it in a different file because I wanted to know, let you know. Apart from that, this is how you create a EC2 instance. You'll let you know what resource name is, like AWS EC2 instance. Web is nothing. It's just that how you want your local machine or the command line to know what, by what name it should remember this EC2 instance as. AMI ID is like Linux, Windows, iOS, and whatever ID you want. Instance type is T1 Nano, T2 Micro, whatever it is. I chose T2 Micro because it's free tier eligible and we don't have to pay for anything for it. Tags. Tags is just the name of the EC2 instance that you want. So yeah, then you save it. You go on the command line, you write Terraform plan. Terraform plan will let you know what all things that you want, what all things are there in your file and everything, and it'll just let you give you a brief whatever is gonna happen. Then you click on Terraform apply, and everything that you have written in the file will automatically get created, just like how right now EC2 instance is created. Yeah, make sure you just, whenever you create an instance, you just make sure you delete instance or you stop the instance once you don't need it, because after a certain amount of time, T2 Micro is also gonna charge you money, which you don't want, of course. Yeah, so that's all we got to learn today.